My speech is about the secrets of Abe Lincoln, and it talks about uncovered documents that had discovered that Lincoln had homosexual relationships during his time. Lincoln was our president, and I'm going to introduce information that suggests that Abe Lincoln had sexual relations with more than one man. These were male acquaintances of his. C.A. Tripp was an author who was gathering information before he died to publish a book called The Intimacy of Abe Lincoln. And this told of his relationships and the information that he had gathered about Abe Lincoln. First of all, we'll talk about people that were close to Lincoln to support this evidence. Like his stepmother spoke of Abe Lincoln when he was a teenager and said that Abe Lincoln was never interested in girls, didn't show any interest in girls. Then also, as Lincoln was a teenager, he wrote a poem about two men that had gotten married to each other and had a relationship. There's also some historical sources that state that Lincoln had sexual relationships with at least 11 men from his teenage years to his adulthood. And this was also teenagers that he had been with. Carl Sandburg described Lincoln as having a touch of lavender and soft as Mayflowers. This referred to Lincoln's feminine side. Lincoln had two marriage-like relationships with men that were close to him. The first was Joshua Speed. They met in 1837, and Joshua Speed was a store owner, and they lived in the apartment above Joshua Speed's store, where they openly slept in the same bed together. Joshua Speed had kept a diary of he and Lincoln's relationships, which was found under the floorboards of his store after he had died. But after he and Lincoln separated, they got married to other people, but they were still in a relationship where they would meet up at certain times and that they would write affectionate letters to each other. People believed them to be soulmates until the day they died. They kept in touch. The second person that he had a relationship with was his wife, Mary Todd. He had been engaged to for a while, and then they called off the engagement because Abe was depressed about the marriage. And then they were later married in 1842. They had 4 sons. People thought they were only bonded by politics and parenting. Mary Todd had several medical problems from her last childbirth, and the Lincolns were also noted as not sleeping in the same bed together or sleeping in the same bedroom together. People thought that Mary Todd never knew that Lincoln had sexual relations with other men, that she was not ever aware of this. The third person that Lincoln had a marriage-like relationship with was David Derrickson. David Derrickson was his companion and his bodyguard. He and Lincoln had been to military camps together where people had documented that they had slept together in the same tent and in the same bed. Then there was also a lady named Elizabeth Todd who was the wife of a naval aide of Lincoln's, and she had documented in her diary that David Derrickson and Lincoln slept together in the same bed while Mary Todd was gone from the home, and that they even shared the same nightshirt. So we know that Lincoln had 3 relationships, and they were intimate, and that was with Mary Todd, David Derrickson, and Joshua Speed. This shed light on Honest Abe's homosexuality. He was just in a time where homosexuality was not understood. So Abe Lincoln just was a misunderstood person of his time.